Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all well and that you're all having a great day to start things off. During an interview in Korea with Block Press, Michael Arrington, who is the founder of TechCrunch and the partner of Arrington XRP Capital, said that XRP is better than Bitcoin and Ethereum in terms of transactions. The founder of TechCrunch first introduced himself to the Korean cryptocurrency enthusiasts, after which he spoke about Arrington XRP Capital. The company is a $100 million hedge fund and invests only in cryptocurrency-related entities. He further stated that most of the deals and companies is doing right now are in Asia, particularly in China and Korea. He said that the Korean market is a little bit opaque for Westerners. Although it is easier to visit, sometimes it is hard to do business in the country. The firm is looking for ways to do more deals in Korea. He further said the country's 40% white-collar workers own cryptocurrency and that no other place in the world has that kind of ownership. This means that people can try new things in the country and get network effects going easier than any other place in the world. And this is why I think a lot of people are also starting to focus on Korea as well. I wish that this was for everywhere, that we had 40% of white collar workers or any workers in general, I don't care what color their collar is, that they were all into cryptocurrency, how much further the market would be. I read somewhere before they were talking about why things take off a bit quicker in South Korea and in Japan and in China. And it has something to do with they're more open for some reason to technology, and they're not as afraid of technology as other people are. So this seems to be a bit of a reason why whenever we hear about movements in the market, before it was about China, before they banned it, and now it's all about South Korea and about Japan moving the market around as they please. Michael Arrington further explains the reason why the hedge fund chose XRP as the primary cryptocurrency for their fund. He said that since they are a crypto-focused hedge fund, they wanted to be the first hedge fund firm to denominate in cryptocurrency and not in US dollars or other fiat currencies, he said, and I quote, "We thought, in fact, we know XRP is best for the first hedge fund firm to denominate in cryptocurrency, not because there's a typo there somewhere around there. It's a little bit more centralized than, say, Bitcoin and has its detractors, and a lot of people in the US just like it. And if you need to move some money like very quickly and very cheaply, there's nothing better than XRP," end quote. Michael stated that the company's first closing was about $50 million in the US. They moved the money within 3 seconds, and the cost of the transaction was about 20 to 30 cents. He stated, "Bitcoin and Ether can't compare with that, and that's fantastic for that." The hedge fund partner also adds that XRP is not the only cryptocurrency held by the company. In fact, the firm holds more Bitcoin than any other cryptocurrency present in the market. This was also a controversy a couple of days ago. People were trying to, the name of the fund is Arrington XRP Fund, and people were asking why they even held Bitcoin and why they held so much Bitcoin. And the fact is, it's Bitcoin. There's not much controversy going around that. Depending on if you don't like Bitcoin or not, the fact is Bitcoin is the name of the game. So I assume a lot of people who are actually in this fund, they made sure to probably get a lot of Bitcoin early on. And I think at some point they kind of added on XRP to the fund. And this is why I think they denominated it. This is kind of how I see it. I feel like it was a Bitcoin fund. They realized that there were other coins. And then at some point they got into XRP and decided to call it the XRP fund. That's just kind of the way that I see it. But yeah, this is kind of the news for today, more or less. A lot of people get shaken up whenever they hear some type of news like this. What this means to me, and like I said, still pay attention because we are nearing September. Whenever these three are in the news, BTC, ETH, and XRP, there's, I don't want to say an ulterior motive, but I think these people are talking about this, trying to raise heads and stuff like that in anticipation for what could possibly happen in September. I said, there's a reason why we constantly hear about these three. There's a reason why you go on TV to say that XRP is better than Bitcoin and Ethereum, the same way we've heard other people talking about Ethereum is better than Bitcoin, and the same way that we heard other people over the last couple of weeks saying that Bitcoin is the number one coin and always will be the number one coin. But it's kind of odd that they're all popping up over the last 2 weeks. I think it's just the September effect. That's just how I think about it. Next up, Coinbase is in the news. Cryptocurrency startup Coinbase will boost its daily purchase limits and allow for instant trading following users' bank accounts, the company announced on Tuesday. Currently, according to the startup, clients have to wait 5 days, sometimes more, for those funds to settle, but that's about to change, with Coinbase reasoning that when someone makes a decision to sign up, they don't want to wait days before they can start buying cryptocurrency. That is very correct. They said, and I quote, "While we do support instant transfers via wire transfers and debit cards, purchases via debit cards from your bank account can take days to appear. With this update, customers will receive an immediate credit for the funds being sent from their bank account. They can then buy and sell crypto to and from their USD wallet right away, but cannot send their funds off the Coinbase platform until the funds coming from their bank have settled." I guess that kind of makes a bit of sense, end quote. This was one of my major gripes with Coinbase and a lot of other people as well. I had friends back in November, October, December, somewhere around that time frame when they were trying to get into the cryptocurrency market. And everyone kept on asking me, where do we buy with money? And I thought about Poloniex, and I thought about Binance, and I thought about other places. And I was like, Coinbase is probably the most, not reasonable, most well-known place, at least at the time. Told them to do it, and I kept on getting the same exact message from everyone that I knew. Pretty much it came down to, I purchased Ethereum 2 days ago, where's my money? And they were asking me as if I was the company, but I mean, I also told them to use Coinbase, so I guess it kind of makes a bit of sense. The point is that I remember one time I tried buying a fraction of something off of Coinbase, and I remember after 7 days, it still was not there, and I wrote them a relatively friendly message, and they told me that it just kind of takes this long. Part of the issue is you cannot remain relevant in the cryptocurrency space. If you have ever traded any coin on any other exchange, it takes half a second. If you're sending a coin from your own wallet into an exchange, you may have to wait for anywhere from 1 to 30 confirmations, depending on which exchange you're using and depending on which coin you're using. Some are faster than others. Point is, nothing usually takes more than around 3.5 minutes. So to have to wait even 5 days for your funds to appear is kind of ridiculous. The daily purchase limits are also being lifted to $25,000. This is according to Coinbase. Though only customers who have completed the site's identity verification process will have access to these changes. Coinbase is still in the process of adding these changes for its non-US customers. I guess they're completely, no, I don't know if they're completely compliant, but the entire know your customer anti-money laundering thing, you have to let pretty much everything besides giving a pint of blood and your fingerprints. This is what Coinbase requires in order for you to be able to do this. But I mean, like I said, we saw this happening from a mile away when it comes to the cryptocurrency market. Everything is going to have to eventually be like this. But the good news, I guess, if you are using Coinbase or are in the mood to use Coinbase or have thought about using Coinbase, is that, especially if you heard something like slow times from other people before, is that they now have instant trading, which is very good. And also, if you plan on being verified, if you plan on withdrawing an enormous sum of money from Coinbase, lucky you, they now have the daily limit thing to 25,000. And also, I think when you do the other verification processes, I think you're also able to lift your other limits as well. Coinbase, I think, is trying to do what they can to make sure that they are relevant during the upcoming bull run. A little bit of news about Cardano. Via his Twitter handle, the founder of Cardano's project and ex-part of Ethereum, his name is Charles Hoskinson, declared the newest version of Cardano's protocol there. He said the specific details of the release have yet to be made public concerning the updates of the 1.3 protocol version. The bettering mostly, and seems that this is all wrong, and it seems target that the Dallas wallet and the protocol itself. That's completely wrong. Mr. Hoskinson commented on how the main issues to deal with were memory improvement and speed, and the 1.3 version has cleared the QA period. The stated update is set to come true in the next days, with the 1.4, according to the roadmap, is set to go into the QA period after September 4th, September timeline again. Cardano was seen as a project potentially displacing Ethereum with a better consensus approach. However, at the moment, the Cardano network does not even line up among the most active ones. Numerous ADA holders hold their assets in the Binance wallet, with the richest one having around 10% of ADA holdings. The daily active unit in terms of daily transactions is far lower at Cardano's blockchain compared to platforms like Tron. We've spoken about Tron before. The Networks Explorer showcase is that the blocks mostly hold 1 or 2 transactions. He said, what's often missed by the cryptocurrency is going to die. Broken record media is that after the next wave of regulation, Wall Street is showing up to the party with all their locked up capital. Then tens of trillions of dollars will be entering the space eventually. The future is bright. Continuing, Mr. Hoskinson believes and hopes to see Cardano to be the first $1 trillion cryptocurrency. We spoke about that before as well. To be fair, a lot of people I've seen, the tribal attitude one is never going to go away from crypto. I'm almost convinced of that right now. But a lot of people have been commenting, if one coin goes up by 3%, another coin goes down by 4%. A lot of people say that my coin is better than your coin, therefore my coin is going to be number 1 or number 2, and this is why my coin is better. A lot of people have been talking about the low volume on a lot of different coins. You have to understand what's happening in the market is everything's not dying, but when there's not a lot of hype around it, volume is going to decrease. There's only so many people around the world who have enough money who are swapping or trading or day trading back and forth between all of these coins. Volumes are going to go lower. Just because your coin or the coins that you love or the coins that you may hold have higher volumes than some other coin does not mean that another project is dying or failing or that your coin is better. There are a lot of other projects as well, specifically like Omise Go and stuff like that, who have their volume is almost not completely wiped out, but it's not where it was before in December. We are in a very stagnant place right now. And on this the exact same note as the word stagnant, Charles Hoskinson, the creator of Cardano, has announced that he is going to be quitting Twitter because, if I can find the information, it's somewhere down here. Recently, Hoskinson had quit Twitter after a series of trolls and minor controversy surrounding a comment made by him. He mentioned Twitter as a platform that has become toxic. He gave a final statement regarding the issue and said, and I quote, "I have very limited time. I run an international company. We operate in 16 countries. I travel dozens of places every single year. And if I have a simple question for a company, a very small company, or just a few people whom I assume run their Twitter feed, and I get a response where an article is written that I'm a monster. If there's a top-rated cryptocurrency Reddit post about how bad of an actor I am, where's the value of this platform?" End quote. Long story short, a lot of people, Hoskinson, Vitalik Buterin has mentioned this a number of times. People who are in the crypto space, for some reason, I don't know if it's a mix of testosterone, let's be honest. I don't know if it's people who are, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, like I don't mean this as an insult at all. I don't know if it's people who are trying or are desperate to become rich. Like I said, I don't mean that, and you know, we all want to become rich, but I think a lot of people have, the way that I've seen crypto the last 2 or 3 years is that a lot of people sat on the sidelines, didn't want to touch crypto at all. And I think there's like this hyper FOMOization that's happening in the market right now, where a lot of people thought about getting it in 2014, 15, didn't do it. They thought it was crypto was a crock. They didn't do it. And then in 2017, when everybody else was tumbling into the market, they fell in as well. The market prices started going back down. And I think it's like this anger of, I got into this market, where's my Lambo, where's my this, where's my so-and-so, and this is why I think that, because, you know, I said this before, in 2015, 2016, the market wasn't like this as far as like the people who were in the market. You know, we had people who said, oh, this is probably better than this is definitely better than this, well, my code, you know, runs a bit better. We didn't have people talking about other people's families or threats or trying to assault them or other random things that have been happening in the cryptocurrency space, people threatening to attack Roger Ver and stuff like that. So the new people who got into the market, they're louder than everyone else who was in the market for quite some time before. I'm sure you've noticed. If you've been into crypto for the last 3 months or more, you've noticed them. You've noticed them in the comment section. You've noticed them on Twitter. You noticed them on Reddit. You've noticed them on, if you're in a Telegram group, I'm sure you've noticed it as well. For some reason, these people scream louder than everybody else. And these are the people who are causing Cardano's creator to quit Twitter. Also causing Vitalik to say that he wants to leave the space. There's also something else that happened a couple of days ago. Andreas Antonopoulos was talking about writing a book on Ethereum, and people were attacking him for that as well. We're entering a place that is becoming a bit uncomfortable. I've also been attacked as well. I have thicker skin, so I don't really care as much. But if you are trying to better the world by making a crypto project and other people are attacking you to the point that you want to leave social media and not discuss your thoughts and things like that with these people, that is going to be a problem. This is not the first time that we've spoken about toxicity in the market, but the point is I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but this is the Cardano news for today. Apparently there's improvements that are going to be coming to the platform, and also one of the people who is in charge of one of the largest coins that we have right now is leaving social media because it's just getting to be a bit too much right now. And I wonder, and I honestly do wonder, how much this is going to change when the market starts going back up. I'd be very interested to see if the market starts going back up in September, October. Let's say we even get to around a $12,000, $13,000 Bitcoin again. I wonder if we're going to have more euphoric posts as opposed to like very angry comments and stuff like that. I get it. Like I said, I understand. I'm human as well. I'm also affected by the market. Try not to let it get you down, especially summertime. Go out and have fun. Go out and do something. If the market is down, the only way to get around that is to go out, have fun, call your friends. Didn't mean to get personal, but I mean, it's true. Like, I get it. I understand that the market is down. I know some people who lost high five digits and stuff like that because the market is down. It's just kind of where we are, everyone. Next up, Opera. I feel like I spoke about this before, but I honestly don't really remember. I feel like it was something else that had to do with a desktop wallet. Opera is launching its desktop wallet with built-in crypto wallet functionality, according to a press release shared with Cointelegraph on the 8th of August. I guess I didn't. The firm already offers a mobile crypto wallet as part of its beta version for Opera on Android, which launched in July early this year. Maybe it was them. Opera cites strong interest and an overwhelmingly positive response from the crypto community to the mobile crypto wallet as the impetus for its latest move. The new desktop version will work by enabling users to connect their desktop browser to their existing crypto wallet, enabling a mobile app by scanning a QR code, a system that Opera has been using to synchronize desktop mobile apps for several years, for example, with its WhatsApp web client. Using a connected mobile desktop system means that the wallet can implement the phone's secure system lock to enable users... Yeah, wait, was that right? Yeah. Enable users to sign transactions using their fingerprints, okay, rather than entering passwords into their browsers, which the press release notes is not only more efficient, but potentially more secure. The existing Android crypto wallet is user-controlled, meaning that keys are stored on the phone rather than on a centralized server. I'm pretty maybe it was the other thing that Opera did, but I think this is now the fourth browser that has announced that they're launching some type of, not crypto custody thing, but like cryptocurrency wallet type thing. I think one of them also had an exchange. I'm probably mistaking it was something else. It's just always so much news, and it's very similar news as well. Like you'll have tons of great news, but it's like, I feel like there's like a press release that gets sent out to all these companies and they like race to do it at the exact same time, but they also release their things at the exact same time. Very cool that this is happening. I don't know how I feel about it being built into the browser, as in I am of the assumption that many browsers are able to be not hacked into, but like, I don't think they're the most secure things to have your money on. I don't know, whatever the case might be, especially if it's linked to your fingerprint. A little iffy on that. But this is the news from or about Opera today. There's so many things that are coming out for cryptocurrency wallets, and they all say that they are doing this because of demand in the market. But I think we're going to get to a point where we almost have like thousands of them. It feels like every company or everything is making their own crypto wallet, and I don't think in 2 years that we're going to have 300 of them. It just seems a little out of place. I think we're going to eventually have like 15 to 20 of them across all platforms that people are more or less using. But let's see if Opera can do what they are planning on doing. Last up, Ethereum Classic is in the news, and I expected this to happen, but not so quick. August has been a wild ride for Ethereum Classic with all the recent developments. The cryptocurrency's price has been consistently rising over the past week post the Coinbase announcement made on the 3rd of August. But within the past 24 hours, ETC or Ethereum Classic has seen a sudden plummet of more than 14%. The cryptocurrency community speculates that the sudden dump in the span of 24 hours is because the entire ETC run-up was just leading up to the actual event, i.e. the Coinbase Pro launch. At the time of writing, Ethereum Classic was trading at $16.28. I don't know if that's true anymore because the prices are still down. Prior to the announcement, the coin was trading at around $18 and has seen a fall of almost $2. The coin has outstripped Tron and Monero yesterday and secured the 11th position on CoinMarketCap. However, ETC has gone back to its previous position and is trading at the 13th position. On the 7th of August, Coinbase announced on Twitter that the final testing for Ethereum Classic was done and that they will now be accepting Ethereum Classic transfers for exchange on the same day. The Coinbase team further added that Ethereum Classic support is at the moment available on their exchange platforms Coinbase Pro and Prime, after which support for Coinbase.com will be launched. What it comes down to is people are blaming the price drop of Ethereum Classic on them not. So yesterday the news was, yesterday or the day before, was that they were going to be launching it on Pro and Prime before their actual normal website, and this would only give Ethereum Classic support pretty much to people who the people with the big guns, people who were I don't even know what to call them anymore. People who were able to use the custody platform, so at $100,000, at $100 million, whatever, it was only going to be available to them because they said that they wanted to make sure that Ethereum Classic had sufficient liquidity before they allowed it onto the normal website. So they were going to wait, I believe the time frame was 2 weeks before they put it onto the normal platform, and everyone, I guess, assumed, woe is me, we can't use it on the normal website, so it's only for them, and this is why the price has gone down. But the price has gone down, whether you want to believe it or not, because of Bitcoin falling because of the ETF rejection. What I'm afraid, or what I'm pretty sure is going to happen, is that we're going to start getting news over the next 2 weeks about people who are trying to sue Coinbase because they think that there's some type of manipulation going on. It's very weird. Coinbase just can't catch a break. They tried to do everything as nice as possible. I think they waited 2 or 3 weeks to make sure before they added Ethereum Classic, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are going to, like I'm pretty sure someone's trying to file a lawsuit. I think it is fruitless a phrase? Don't do it, rather, I would say. I think they've covered their behinds relatively well on this one, and that they told everyone they were going to do it. They waited a couple of weeks, and then even though they didn't add it onto the other platforms, I don't think this is the reason for the 14% price, but we've seen lawsuits launched before because somebody lost $500 and he blamed another company. So I assume a lot of people aren't too happy with this, but if you look at it realistically, it was because Bitcoin fell. I think a lot of the hype, I think if we saw any Ethereum Classic price drop, I think it would have been around 2% from where it was before. I don't think Coinbase specifically destroyed the price of Ethereum Classic. I don't think Ethereum Classic is that important that Coinbase has a personal vendetta against them. That's not me stepping on Ethereum Classic. I'm sure you know exactly what I mean without even trying to read between the lines. I don't think they had any ulterior motive to try and lower the price of Ethereum Classic so they can try and gobble up as much as they can before Ethereum Classic hits $1,500. You understand what I'm saying? The point is, this has been making the rounds in the news the last couple of hours. A lot of people are saying Coinbase is at it once again. They did it with Bitcoin Cash, and they're definitely doing it with Ethereum Classic. Manipulation all over the place. It's just because the market is down. That's pretty much all that it comes down to. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you guys are having a great day, morning, afternoon, and or evening. Very odd news this week. You can see the prices are still down, which is actually kind of interesting, is that they're exactly the same as they were earlier. If you look at the charts, everything is just moving sideways, which isn't bad. I am thinking, don't hold me on this, I am not a professional. I am not a technical analysis scissor. I feel like the prices are going to go down a tiny bit more. We haven't had any negative news, but I feel like The negative air is still kind of there. I could see things going down by another 2 or 3%. I don't know where they're going to go down from there, but I think that everything is kind of holding steady, but we need something good to happen to the market in order for prices to go up. But as I'm going to assume this week, nothing incredibly fantastical is going to happen for Bitcoin. We're not going to receive any extra news from the SEC that they decided to completely do a U-turn and allow the ETF to go through. So I think prices may go down a tiny bit. It kind of is what it is. Thank you once again for watching. Thank you once again for all the support. And I will talk to you all soon. See you.